All right, good morning, good morning. Let me make sure my live, okay, good. We are all posted and Gucci. All right. All right, so today I am working on another EL comic, and this one is called Showtime. This is based off of, oh my gosh, the foot, like that. The foot. He says I'm sleeping here. That's what I'm doing. Gosh. Hey, Bacon. Welcome to the stream. I feel like my tablet's wiggly, but Happy's holding it up pretty well, so. I'm thinking this is gonna be a 5-up. Well, sort of. She's flapping her tail like she's irritated at me. He says, I'm trying to sleep. Do you mind? Good, about there. Started seeing more of your merch at my mall and work. Oh, wonderful! So happy to hear that. Yeah, there were, I was able to find everything but the, hello, oh, big stretch. Okay, we gotta toast the other side now. All right. I believe everything was in store but the dangly keychain. I wasn't able to find that, but the wallet and all of the pins I was able to find. Well, wait, yes, actually, I think all of them. I think the floof balloon I found the I Believe in You, definitely found Pudge, and you got this. So yeah, that was really cool. Still working on getting, hopefully, a blind box that will have a little bit more shelf space and visibility. But that's the current plan. All right, And then I'm gonna have not sure if I want to draw the shopping cart more than twice, but we'll get it done. All right, so this is going to be so Evil Landlord is going to overhear Granny Bear and Boop talking about maybe doing a movie and popcorn tonight. I'm thinking something along the lines, oh, it would be so nice to watch a movie tonight. Maybe we've got some popcorn left, but I'm not sure. And then Evil Landlord, she gets this kind of mischievous grin on her face, kind of like the Grinch. And then we start the evil laughter, hee hee hee, and her prophet tail is wiggling. And then she goes and she buys all the popcorn and she buys all the snacks and she's running out of the grocery store. And then she shows up at Granny Bear's door with snacks and floofs and popcorn all ready to go for movie night. And this is based off of the real Evil Landlord. She would always play it kind of aloof until you turn the TV on. And then from wherever she was, she would pop up and join you on the couch. And she would also do this funny little meow that almost sounded like a ring ring, meow, something like that. and she'd trot over and join you on the couch. Never snuggled close, like one cushion away, but she always wanted to be with you, watching TV with you. So I think that would be a cute way to... These last couple ones have been I think a fun way to develop her character and bring her out a little bit more. It's the season of the evil landlord, I guess. Alright, so let's bring in... Oh, first of all, I need to get these moved down. I think I'll go ahead and do these as well. That way I can get my frames up without having issues seeing where the frame should go, like I usually do. The heating pad got turned off. It timed out, so I had to re-up her dose. Kind of like a heat drug dealer. So I think there's not going to be much of a sorry. Well, actually, I can't say that because it looks like the weather might be changing to be a little bit more cooler next week for Thanksgiving. I haven't watched the weather channel that I usually watch here on YouTube. But he said that there's a big change, and it looks like an Arctic blast is on the way. It'll probably be just 70s for us, but hey, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Got the itch, and I booted up Don't Starve last night again. Reign of Giants, I didn't go for vanilla. But I had a pretty good map to start out with. I feel like if I've laid off the game for a while, it gives me a really good map generation on the first one back. So that held true. That theory held true this time. And it looks like I have a kind of like a spiral star, not a spiral, but like a star-shaped map with a central island and then a lot of the biomes shooting off from a central area. So I like those better than the donut maps and some of those other ones where you have to really use. Come to think of it, I haven't found any warps, and I've gone over that map quite a bit. I haven't found a single warp. Huh. Now realize that. Well, I mean, my map's good though, so I may not even need it, but I definitely will need it when when the seasonal bosses show up. I know I usually have a problem with Deerclops, but I can usually get to a warp pretty fast and have him spawn away. That's what I usually do when Deerclops comes around. The whatever it was, the werebeaver, no, that big this summer one. No, there's a dragonfly. That one sucks. That one really stinks because she destroys everything. I'm not sure what I did last time. I think she managed to destroy... No, I think I got something managed to destroy my farm last time, and I think I'm a little worried. I risked it, and I planted my farm quite near to a killer bee biome. But if I make the bee hat and the log suit, I might be able to go through there and lead all of those. Well, they're going to destroy everything if I do that. I could maybe designate part of that area and try to use the killer bees to kill off those big seasonal bosses. Maybe. Hopefully they won't destroy the entire biome, but if they do, I'll just have a bunch of bee house parts that I could just make beehives from. At any rate, I planted close to those, but not so close that I'm always in peril. I'm thinking I might use that to help with hounds, although I do have a nice beefalo zone by me too. It took me forever to find it because I found one little grass biome, but it was just tiny. So I kept on moving. I got a couple of good things by me where I planted. I have a couple of spooters that I can farm, and I left another spooter by I just left it there. I didn't harvest it or anything. I'm gonna let him fight the beefalo because that'll be free beefalo hide and meat and free, the monster meat. I'm trying to decide if I want to run this map legit, or if I want to, because if I do, I know I'm going to die. I mean, I'll probably last to the first winter, maybe, but it would be so easy to just, port in some of the stuff I need. Even though I did find I could do it legit for most of it, and I found the Clockwork Knight so I can make my electric stuff. But I typically use the command console to just make things easier, especially if I find that I've got a map that's just ridiculously spread out. But I try to run it as legit as I can. But I started in spring. We'll see. Where'd my Kleenex go? There we go. Have you tried using Illustrator's new turntable feature? No, I have Illustrator version 2022, I think. I don't want to update and use the AI features. I just don't want to. And I wish that their new model for the, I know I mentioned this before, but when they recently upped the price for Creative Cloud, and they made it sound like that there was like a basic basic B version that didn't have all of the AI features, and because they were like, the Pro version has all of these AI things built in, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't want those. And of course it's like $20 more expensive. And the way they worded it made me hope that there was like a basic version that just had the tools without the AI that I could switch my account to. But no, that wasn't so. Apparently everybody's being forced to use those features. I know they announced that one, was it last year? And then it got such good, I believe it was at Max last year or the year before, that it got such good reception, and that kind of catapulted it forward in their production pipeline. I'm not like totally anti-AI. I want it to be, personally, I would use it as the tool to accelerate certain tasks to make me more productive and work faster. But I would not use it to replace my artistic direction and drawing at any critical point. I would see it as, like, if you're looking at the animation question, I would consider it for maybe doing tweens, but I would do the keyframes, and then I would consider using that to handle the in-betweens, but not just throwing Granny Bear up there and say, whatever, make Granny Bear spin in a circle. I would want to control the in-betweens, the gestures, and the line mood, I guess. 90% of Adobe's AI is, for the lack of a better word. Image Trace is the only thing that they got going for them. Well, Image Trace has been around for a while. I mean, did they improve that any? Because it was kind of crap before. There were certain things that I would use it for, like when I was doing graphic design client stuff. If they would hand me a crappy JPEG logo or whatever, I would just be like, I would throw it into Image Trace and get that so I could make their postcard and be done with it. I wouldn't recreate it and spend that time, because quite frankly those clients would pay for it. So that was how I used that, but it really was only good for simple applications like that. Very clear lines, not a lot of complicated shadowing or anything like that. So if they've improved the tool, that's great. Really wish they would worry more about the creatives instead of cheap ways to get design drawing made. Agree about the animation. Oh, cool. That's awesome. I'm glad they made it better. But yeah, no, for years, I felt that Adobe has kind of a shiny object syndrome, and they're kind of at the, I don't know if anybody really exists in that company anymore that is, I don't want to say that, because I'm sure there are people that still care about, the customer that built their company, the artists and the creatives that, initially started using Photoshop and all of these tools. now seems like they're courting the AI crowd. And, you know, they kind of had that shiny object syndrome when streaming was just kind of coming up. So like in 15, 16, they went to Twitch and they got their own channel, and they hired on a bunch of artists that were streaming to stream on the Adobe channel. So they got their feet wet that way, and then they dropped Twitch and they built their own platform on Behance, and then they abandoned that when I guess something else came along, which happened to be iPad apps. And, you know, they were gung-ho on that for a while, and then they dropped all of that for AI. I don't know what the iPad version of Illustrator is at. I admit I haven't opened it up to see if there was an update to it, but as it was, there were quite a few key features that hadn't been implemented yet that were in the pipeline, and I don't really think that those had ever been completed. I think they've pushed the resources and stuff and manpower elsewhere to the AI question. But so I really, you know, once the next shiny object, whatever it is, comes along, they'll shift it to that. And hopefully they won't make the AI bros mad, because that's the only customers they seem to have left these days. A lot of people have rejected them and tried to move to other platforms. And I think that, I mean, I wish I could, but I have literally so many years. I've got, you know, 10 years, over 10 years of daily drawings, plus all of the files, all of my book files, all of my InDesign files. Everything is Adobe based, and leaving that is just going to be difficult, and having a solution that is comparable. My biggest thing is this tool right here. I love my blah brush, and I was able to duplicate it sort of in Procreate. If it wasn't for screen printing, I would be using Affinity. They just went free. I saw that. I saw that they grouped all of those big things together and made it free. They like combined designer, oh gosh, I don't even know the names of all of them, but it was the Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign versions of their software they grouped into one. And I heard it was an interesting play. I mean, they kind of, I guess, using it as an entry point to sell Canva subscriptions, I guess. I don't know. So they got to make profit somehow. Canva had bought Affinity. their paid walls in Affinity, but they're all related to AI, so no loose. Okay, cool. See, that's what I wish Adobe did. I wish they had just, you know, hey, you know, I understand some of you guys may not want it. Here's an option for you. I mean, how hard could that have been, really? And that way you acknowledge a customer that, you know, and you potentially don't lose them because you actually are, you know, or at least appearances so, hearing their complaints and addressing them and giving them an option. But it just, you know, the way they handled it, it just doesn't seem like they care. They're just like, yeah, so, okay. There's my gear. Good to go. Hey Sharon! Happy Thursday to you too, and yes, it is another EL comic. So let me back up here. So she is going to overhear Granny Bear and Boop talk about having a movie night. They don't know if they have enough popcorn. I think they're, you know, they're going to say, I don't have, you know, I wonder if we have enough popcorn and snacks. That sounds really good. And so she gets an idea for profit here, and she like takes a sip of her tea and is, you know, hee hee hee. And then she goes to the grocery store and she's picking up all the popcorn and she's buying all the snacks. And then she shows up at the door with said popcorn, snacks, and a bunch of floofs ready to watch a movie. I kind of want to make this little cute little smile her calling card almost. You've got the mischievous, you know, plotting evil landlord right here, but she's always plotting for good ends and positive things. Back in here. So I have them finished up. I'm gonna probably group them and have EL in her separate group over here. We've already had a good stretch and a turn, so she's toasted the first side and she's now on side 2 for the status of Miss Bean. I've got the purr motor started. She's easy to boot up. Indeed, well-toasted bean at all times. It wasn't even cool and she was in her Twinkie bed. It's back here off camera, but I can always, well, I mean, it was cool, but not, 40s, whatever, really, truly cold. But when it gets slightly cool, she starts heading for that bed. And it's kind of funny because whenever she goes in it, she kind of does biscuits, but she kind of pulls. And so whenever I hear this popping noise, I know that she is preparing her Twinkie bed. Recently took a hell dive into 3D printing. Oh goodness, I've heard that can be quite the, I don't want to call it a mess, but definitely a learning curve. Like with leveling your plate and making sure all of those test prints. And what type did you do? The resin one? Is it resin? There's one that it's like done in liquid, and then there's the other one where it's like the filament. Yeah, I follow an artist that does the liquid one. That one looks fascinating to me, but I think she mentioned that it's also like quite toxic. And then Chris the mod in the stream, he had a 3D printer that he did a lot of filament work with. Makes a lot of cool stuff. So that's how I have what limited knowledge I have on 3D printing. Get me a resin one later next year. Nice. Do you have what are you thinking of making? Is it like toys, models, or are you doing parts? What's your plan for it? Oh shoot. It's getting a little toasty. I'm gonna give myself a break here. There it goes. I love it how it chops off my bun. Detail models of drawings and characters that I draw for now. Working on my baking. Oh, cool! Very cool. just going to be a little bit behind the hill. Yeah, the warmth reminds me. I was in one. They opened a Uniqlo here about a year ago, and love that store for the basics and how nice quality of their stuff is. But like everything in there right now, it's as if they think this is Alaska or somewhere, because they're all puffer coats and thermals and all of this winter stuff. And I'm sitting here looking at the temperature, and it's like in the 80s. It's just, really, guys? I mean, we'll need that stuff for here at least maybe 1 or 2 weeks, maybe, if we're lucky. And some people wouldn't consider that luck, even though I do, certainly, because I miss the cold, I miss the snow, I miss winter and seasons. But yeah, it's just, I was walking through and just it's just like all of the aisles were just stuffed with these puffer coats. Okay. I mean, maybe if I go into Trader Joe's, I'll need that puffer coat, because they legitimately keep it like an ice box in there. Also working, making a friend a wind tunnel for car. Ooh, interesting. Is that gonna snap together in a bunch of different pieces? I guess that would depend on how big the car models are. We've got her. And let me fix up Granny Bear and Boop. Yep. Alright, and now let's go to the main group. And let me do a couple more just little bits of grass here. I won't draw those in until I actually know where I'm putting her. If I make it correctly, then at first, yeah, but when he gets it, it will be one big box. Oh, wow. Very cool. Before I close this off, let me get their dialogue in here so I am not drawing a bunch of text that I'm not, or space for text that I won't need. All right, so I'm going to say, okay. Make this a little longer. There we go. Oh, movie night is a fantastic idea, Miss Boop. We may have to stop at the store for popcorn. Wait, let me grab this and whoops, not that, that. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. And now we gotta grab everything else. And group it. I'm gonna say may have to, we should. Maybe a smidgen more. There we go. All right. That one is almost done. I do need to group it with this outer frame. Group that, and then I'll come in here and I'll drop this down. Shoop, 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 shoop. Sound effects make everything better. All right. Now let's hit save. Ariana, hello, welcome to the stream. I just finished my twist. I'm out of Waterloo. I gotta go get water. You don't twitch and chirp at me. Uh-oh. Okay, you got it fixed. I feel like she's like maybe a third on the mat. She's got the head on the mat, she's got the footers on the mat, but the bulk is off the mat. He says, "Don't you be talking about my bulk." I think I did a complete. Just need to smooth out that little bump. There we go. To make her head a little bit smaller though. Here's another 3D print file I just finished making and I'm currently getting ready to color. Ooh! And have the little dollar signs floating around like what I think it was the Looney Tunes short with the, what is it, Michigan J. Frog? The guy that sees the frog singing and then he gets the dollar signs floating around his head. And then the frog, he refuses to perform unless nobody's watching. Hello, baby, hello. Yeah, that was a good one. I need to watch some of the Looney Tunes. I think I have. No, I think what I'm thinking of, I've got an Animaniacs, one of those. I've got. Ooh, how many volumes did that have? I think there were, I want to say 3 volumes of the Animaniacs. I have, I think, one of those. And I don't believe, and I always kicked myself for doing that, they came out with like it was like a golden DVD set or something that had all of the shorts on it for the Looney Tunes. I just can't remember how many were on that. And then for a certain amount of time, they had a lot of the shorts on Warner Brothers On Demand. But then I think about a year or so ago, they yanked all of them. Or maybe they still do, I don't know. But I heard that they were being removed. Because I was waiting for certain ones of my favorites to pop up on there. There's one that I hardly ever see that was so funny. It was Bugs Bunny, and he's kind of in the Wild West, and it's like this gambling one. Oh gosh, where the guy has like all of this gold, and It's not, I don't believe, shoot. I don't know if that one was. But it's not one of the, like, commonly, you know, really popular ones like the What's Opera Doc or, you know, those. I love the ones with the gangsters, Bugsy and is it Bugsy and the big guy, or is the big guy Bugsy? No, I think the little guy's Bugsy. Those were fun. I think that's the right shape for her, that I can get her little floops up there. Bugs Bunny cartoon, it's like nuggets. They've got Bugs Bunny cartoon. I think Yosemite Sam is in it. Barbary Coast Bunny, that's the one. Or is it Gold Nuggets? That's one I've only seen a couple of times, but I remember laughing so much in that one. Oh, here's the Golden Collection right here for $9 on eBay. Oh wait, no, nearby. Wait, where are you? Is that Walmart? Really? 4-disc collection? Seriously? Wow. Golden Collection 1. What's actually on it? 4-disc collection. Where's the list? So I have to look elsewhere to find the list. Whoa! I might have to grab that. Alright, anyway. Back to the comics. Heading out, gonna try to catch on the... Oh, take care! Happy Thanksgiving, Bacon! Have a good rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. Good luck on your 3D printing. That's another thing I was reminded of. I wonder... I haven't seen the Tiny Toon Adventures movie in ages. But I saw the clip of them in the car. There's a car, the car game. Well, here it looks like how I spent my vacation. It looks like it's available on YouTube, sort of. There's a 3-hour? That wasn't 3 hours. Where can I watch Tiny Toons? How I spent my Apple TV, Fandango at Home, Amazon Video. Oh, that's good to know. I haven't seen that in ages. There's a there's a oops truck. There's I just love the dig they took at the THX opening. You know, the audience is now deaf. That was just so perfect. I think I need to draw this shopping cart before I finish EO. Maybe I should do the smile and instead of the whistle. Easy popcorn. Easy popcorn. do I get her big smile but keep her? Do I drop it down low? Kind of need her little loop to show here. Like it down a little bit lower. Well, that one I actually, her swoop kind of, I'll just not draw it completely across. And maybe I'll bring this up so over here. I'll figure it out. So I need to show, her paw is kind of lopped over the top. So I can bring this over here. Oh, damn. I erased the box of popcorn instead of her paw. Darn it. I knew I was doing something weird there. Alright, well, let's redraw this popcorn box. And let's erase the proper thing this time, which is her. I swear I was erasing the right thing. Darn it. Alright, so let's just shoot. Shoot. Hey Catherine, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Alright, moving that over. There we go. And what did I mess up here? I messed up that. Of course I did, because I accidentally erased it. There we go. Easy popcorn. take her arm with me. I just want to grab the pieces that I haven't grabbed yet. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, save. And I need to move this forward. And I need to group. There we go. And actually, I can move out this upper section here. Let's clean up this artboard a little bit. Whoop, there we go. So far on the comic, I've got, I don't need to have this here. So it's called Showtime. And Evil Landlord overhears Granny Bear and Boop talking about a movie night. And GB says, "Oh, movie night is a fantastic idea, Miss Boop. We should stop at the store for some popcorn." And she gets her little evil coffee hour coffee cup and she starts giggling and she feels like the prophet senses are tingling. Then she goes to the store and she snaps up all the popcorn and she's running out of the store with all the snacks and popcorn. But then she shows up at Granny Bear's door with a bunch of floofs, lots of popcorn snacks, and a very hopeful smile. So that is the EL comic today. Getting a bath over here. The question is she going to turn and toast the other side? Or are we not turning today? Pretend you don't notice. I notice she'll leave. We are toasting the other side now. I know, she's just like, am I gonna leave? Am I gonna bounce? Or am I going to grace you with my presence for a few more minutes? You never know. I don't want her to be running. Maybe I'll put like a foot. Maybe I'll put a foot down there. Oh, I forgot her little... White belly's gonna be up here. Bigger. Maybe a little piece. Oh, big stretch with the toes. Toe stretch. Gotta try and draw this cart. I kind of feel like she has to be it angled to something like that, like the wheels are angled a little bit, like she's running out, and it's just if I can get this right. This is just a rough sketch of it to get it right. I don't think I do yet, but we're gonna try our best here. Angle these guys up straight. You gotta be right. I want to read that one, but do I have a mud pizza coupon? Oh. No, it's just get a gift card. Darn it. That sounded good. Alright. I think I'm good on the cart, but I need to fix a couple of areas where I got overlap that may... Weird. And I gotta fix these wheels because they look not that good. Alright. Oh, that looks even worse. Maybe like smaller like that. I think probably, maybe. I don't know. Wait. I'm trying to keep myself from shrimping so much. Oh. Just wanted to grab that and duplicate it over here and over here to make it easier. Next one will just a little smaller. Oops. No, pick up the whole thing and move it. There we go. Jeez. Maybe I shouldn't make this wheel that much bigger, just a smidge bigger. So I've got that shopping cart. Go. Well, Random, how are you? Been practicing drawing lately? Great. What have you been drawing? Of course, I didn't group any of this at all. Not yet. Why would I do anything that would make sense like that? Alright, so I got my grocery cart here. I need to do her little paws. She's so evil. Maybe I should put the little bobby pins behind her, like I did. I did that with her little animations, like Witch Hazel. When she rushes from the scene, bobby pins go flying. You could do that. Oh, Dee! Did you change your name? I just not noticed. He's there. There's her ear. Let's clean that up. And I want her little cheekies to be up a little bit, like she's very excited. Her plot is coming to fruition. And I think I'm going to, well, I could have her just pushing the cart. I'm gonna have to drop out a lot of this. All right. Let me experiment and see. Do I really want to drop? I mean, it's all, I didn't draw. I'm about to show through in the other frame, so. Yeah, keep it. I'm gonna just leave it like that. And then I'll have her paw coming over like this, like she's pushing it. Look better because it kind of shows her paws going up like that. Make this a little smaller. Trying to make it like she's running through everything. Alas, hello! Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well as well. Alright, let's get this out of here, and then the final frame. Alright. Alright, so now let's get a busy day of crushing for my day job. Now I'm home doing work on my comics. Nice! Awesome. Alright, so let's see. How do I want to do this? Because I have Granny Bear here and I have the crowded doorway. Maybe I just draw the doorway full of floofs in EL and then I'll put those guys in at the last. So draw a straight line, and then I can edit. Granny Bear has a lovely door. Something like that. Just a couple of details in there. Whew. All right. I want to make this line thicker. There we go. All right. I need to, I kind of like this shape, but I need to edit it a little bit. The ears are all perked up. Bring the ear over here just a smidge. And up we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it is really cool that we got a lot of artists in chat. That's something I used to do a lot back when I was on Twitch, doing a lot of that. Kind of the initial days of the creative category there. It was always nice that you could kind of chill and almost draw along, you know, with other artists as they were working on their stuff. It's a lot of fun. I'd oftentimes just have that running in the background as I worked. Okay, I apparently drew too much ear, so let's bring this ear back under control here. No, sort of. I need to fix this weirdness. And I need to smooth this out. Oops. Nope, no. I want to bring it back. Nope. Really? You're not going to allow me to fix it? Fine, I'll do it like that. Go ahead and swoop. I want to make sure I keep, I need to open up the previous one to make sure I've got her smile right, because there's two little eyes and then the hopeful like that. Like she's kind of so excited. The keys to cultivate a creative audience who want to see more of, to be a cesspool of other needless drama. Yeah, that's true. It seems like wherever you go, there can be potential for drama. I want her to be holding on to a box of Easy Pop. And then she's going to be surrounded by floofs. I think I kind of need to make her a little smaller though. She's kind of big. Ah! What was that? She's going to be blocked by a bunch of groups, so I want to make sure that she's standing a little further back. Maybe I'll group her section because I've got to have, I want to have a floof with just their eyes visible above a popcorn bowl. This one is going to have his 2 popcorns. This one is going to have snacks. And I think I'll have a little one that's peeking out over here. So I got my, finally, and so I've got a couple of other things to figure out now. I got my ebook figured out, and I think it only took me about 4 or 5 exports to get it right, but the file turned out to be larger than my print file. So I'm wondering if I just saved out that original as my regular print settings and then just sent it over and it looked fine. I don't know what it does differently to have it as the interactive PDF, but I saved that out all the way up to I think 300. Well, initially I scaled it up, I did the 300 DPI, but that still had artifacting all over the comic pages. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I switched the compression settings to the absolute highest because there was another setting like right below that where I thought, okay, that'll be good because that made the file just a shade under probably about 25 megabytes under what the print file was. And I was like, okay, that sounds about right for, a digital file. But the artifacting was just horrible still. So changing that other setting is what did it and got it to look clear, but I couldn't believe it was like, it ended up being like 150 some megabytes for that PDF file. And I don't know if, I don't download a lot of comics, so I don't know if that's, I would think maybe 90 to 100 would be okay if it's a really long one, and these are, they're 150 some pages, so I guess that would be okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to download a few from different creators just to see how big those files end up being for them. Because there's surprisingly little information on doing that. On proper settings. Lots of information for print settings. I don't need print settings. I'm good there. Although I could possibly... My print service Mixam offers a digital download version of your print files. I wonder if I could save that, but it's hosted on their server, so I've never really tried that print link before. Does it need to be an interactive PDF instead of a regular? That's what... I think if I want to make, and this is something I had thought about for the future, if I want to make it clickable, like you can jump to a chapter, or like jump to the Pudge comics, or jump to the Floof section, I had thought about making that a thing, but I don't know how to do that. I have to figure out how, and I'm sure it's probably easy to just go in there and add an anchor of some sort. Also, if I wanted to do a table of contents and make that clickable and jumpable, that would be the only instance that I would think that it is applicable. Unless, of course, I'm layering in stuff like, because I seem to remember that a while back, children's books started to do that interactivity where it was somewhere between and like not completely animated like a cartoon would be, but there was still movement, almost like I guess kind of close to what a lyric music video would, like the lyric video would be for a music video. It's not a fully, done, produced music video, but you have the, the motion graphics with the words and stuff. Similar to that, but just light movement and maybe parallax type effects on the illustrations. I seem to remember that happening for children's books not too long ago, and so I think that would be kind of what it would be if you have some media files, motion files laid in there, and that maybe they're clickable or you can interact with them in some way. But that's way above my ability and knowledge. So I think I could probably get away with just doing in a regular PDF. But I assume that's what that functionality would support. Start in the group. Now I've got to get my poofs in here. And I can move her around, but I gotta get this. I want to do the popcorn poof here. So let's get the popcorn bucket here. I may delete that piece of it, but actually I think I will. Does Flip need to be smaller? It needs to be a little smaller. Yeah, I just want him to be like right up here. I got 2 popcorns. This is the 2 popcorn food. Gotta make the angle. This body isn't quite right. If I can get the eyes right, bring it up. guy bigger and bring him into the, there we go. Just that, that's all right, that's okay. Popcorns, yes. He's got 2 popcorns. Brought them both. We got those 2. And I have 1. Good snacks. Always bring the good snacks. All right. They do indeed know what the best snacks are. They have the line on it. Oh, got a proper popcorn bucket there with the stripes. Right, there's that, and I think I can go ahead and erase this bit of the door frame. And I'm going to leave EL like that, just in case I want to move her a little bit, but I think she's okay. And now I'm going to save first of all, because that was a lot of detail in there. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do GB over here. It's not quite right, but it's close. There we go. Let's get rid of this. needs to be standing in front. She answered the door. Maybe. And tail. Right, there's that. And his ear is kind of a little bugging me. Let's get that over here. Their head is tilted up a little bit. Bump on her mouth here. Duh. And these lines been taken care of. Getting that dropped down. And this all cleaned up. Whoops. All right. Do I want to have Miss Boopy over here? Because I'm gonna have the dialogue like this. Maybe she's just I kind of need to draw like a plant over here, something to fill out this area. She has a nice little side table here. It's not taller than her though. Notes for me to finish later. take all of these notes out of Granny Bear's group and oops, forward group, and then I need to make them a little bit lighter so I know what to draw later. So I think I'm gonna just put in her dialogue here and draw the dialogue box, and then I'll finish the rest later. Alright, so I need to do her dialogue. I need to make this, goodness, what a wonderful surprise. I can cut it there. Goodness, what a wonderful surprise, Miss Boop. It's showtime. Good friends and popcorn have arrived. Go ahead and make this dialogue box. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up a little more, because I've got plenty of room to slide this down. Oops. All right, and spin to win. Definitely going to have to float this up higher. There we go. So I don't want it to block her ears. And then I can bring the whole shebang down lower. There we go. And then what I'll do is I will float this dialogue box above all of it. I'm not going to erase all of this in the background. I'm just going to have this floating above everything else so I can color, and if I have to move this and edit for the Instagram version, I'm able to do that, and I'm just going to group these two together. So all I need to do is draw this end table, a vase, and a big potted plant over here, and that'll be done. And I probably will actually end, well, I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to erase this Yale's belly and just have her behind there or not. We'll see. But yeah, that's good. There we go. All right, so let me go back to the front here. And the comic title is Showtime. And it starts off with Granny Bear and Boop. They're walking through town, and Granny Bear says, "Oh, movie night is a fantastic idea, Miss Boop. We should stop at the store for some popcorn." And E.L. overhears it, and then she gets a what appears to be a sinister idea. She's Maybe I should put Evil Coffee Hour right here. I don't know. Well, I might do that. And then she runs to the grocery store and she's buying up all the popcorn and all the snacks and she's running away. And then she shows up later at Granny Bear's door with popcorn friends and all of the good snacks. And Granny Bear says, "My goodness, what a wonderful surprise, Miss Boop. It's showtime. Good friends and popcorn have arrived." So that is the comic. I'm off to lunch. Always glad to. Oh, take care, Ariana. I hope you have a good lunch and a wonderful rest of your day and weekend. Hey, Aiden. Good to see you. I think that'll be it for my stream today. I'm going to finish coloring, well, drawing. I've got to draw the little background elements real quick here. Finish drawing that, coloring it, and then, yeah, that'll be tomorrow's comic. I like it. I like this little kind of character development I've been doing on Landlord. I've got some other really fun ideas for comics that I have to work writing on one of them, but I thought it would be cute to have, you know, like the star signs, Scorpios, Aries, whatever, as characters and personalities in Cozy Town, so you can kind of match who you are to each character, you know, your personality type. I've got to work on that and do research because I only know a very, very surface level about that stuff, so I gotta make sure it's accurate if I do that. But I thought it would be fun because I do have a bunch of different characters and, you know, who could be, you know, certain ones. But yeah, thank you so much. Oh, Kathy, thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, thank you, Coconut, for that. She's in her pork chop pose. Very round. Let me switch over to my ending screen here. Alright, thank you so much again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the comic stream. Yes, she does wake very briefly to flip so she gets her other side toasted as well. I will be back on Tuesday with more drawing stuff, and if you want to see more comics, be sure to tune in again next Thursday. I do comics every Thursday, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Oh wait, I forgot to thank everybody in stream. Aiden, Kathy, Dee, Sharon, Ariana, I know you bounced, Alaz, who else do we have here? All of my lurkers, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.